Okay, I'm going to go over just how to take care of the wood. If you want to go, you can go and you can buy wood. This is bass. A teacher actually gave this to me. This is very pretty. It's like so smooth and white. That's surprising. This is what you're going to get if you go to the store. You need something where it's very flush, very smooth, and it's just white. You know, not much to it. Where if you cut your own wood, comparison. Granted, this is the prettiest side. Let's find the not so pretty side. Is it on the end? Oh, well, look at that. Let's find a different piece. Same type of wood. One of my right hands is darker. There we go. That's almost the same shade. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. But, yeah, look at that. So if you want, you can go and you can buy your wood, or you can cut your own wood. Either one works. If you go buy your wood, that saves you a lot of time. Can save you money, I guess. But you're just stuck with what you get. A lot of them are about the size of this. I bought a couple this size and I carved an eagle. I carved a ball and cage. And my last one I cut up and made a pendant for my girlfriend. So that's always fun. You can go and you can buy wood. Those 3 pieces that I bought, 2 of them were this side, 1 of them was a little bit taller. $10. I didn't spend that much. I spent about $6 because I used a coupon. But ouch. Each product costs, you know. Wolf example. I need to finish this one. I'm not done with it yet. But so 3 pieces of wood, $10 for them all. Coupon, so it's $6, so $2 for the piece of wood. Okay, it's not that big. $2 I can deal with, I guess. Then time to cut it, shape it. Well, I've spent 2 weeks on this so far, and I'm not done. I have to paint it because I want to paint it. So I have to consider the paint. I'm using acrylic paint, and it's not very cheap. I can buy cheap stuff, but I'm also an artist, and I don't like to buy cheap stuff. So that's another factor you got to take in. So I'm probably up to about $10, $20 with labor. So cutting the wood, so shaping the wood, I guess, shaping the wood, labor, and buying the wood, buying the paint, painting it. I'm probably close to $20. Wow. I can go to the dumping it paint, yeah, but is it what I want? So nothing you can do. It'll cost you a lot too, mind you. I'm not just saying that. I don't know how much this costs. To cut your wood, you have to have the saw. You can use a handsaw. That takes forever. Trust me, I cut the basswood in half. That was not fun. Saw cuts it good. I don't cut it good. Nope, my saw wasn't very sharp, but let's not talk about that. My knives are sharp. That's it. So yeah, you get a lot prettier grain if you cut the wood yourself. You have to watch out for like notches, like what I got right here, kind of a notch. There's another one there. But yeah, you know, you get different shapes too. I mean, if I wanted, I could just carve something massive out of this. Very, very pretty. Not going to be fun to carve, but it's very pretty. That side's nasty. Let's not go there. But I got all this wood too. Let's find a pretty piece. Oh, none of them are pretty fine. So you can kind of see, kind of pretty, yeah. Woo, that got close. Pretty big piece of wood. Bigger than my hand. But this is poplar, I think is what I was told it was. It's poplar. It's very pretty. It doesn't look that yellow. It looks a little lighter than that. It's yellowish orange. It's very pretty. Not as white as the bass. This is a hardwood, my grandpa said. If I remember right, he said it was that. But I think he thought it was something else too. I think it's poplar. I've been told it was poplar, and I was showed it was poplar. So that's what I'm going with. The point is, this was just cut today. These pieces right here in front of me and in my box were just cut today. If I do not do something about them, they're going to end up like my little piece of cherry wood here with a nice big split. Nice big split. I have a piece of this that I took the bark off of was almost as big as this. I took the bark off just to see. It had been drying for about a week. I wanted to see what would happen. And I got it split right down the center. This crack went all the way across and came all the way to here. And the piece of wood was about the same size as this, so it was thicker. I was like, oh, that was great. That's now garbage. Yeah, it's now considered a scrap. So we don't want that. We want the wood to last a long time. So, you paint it. That right there is the whole secret. You can buy stuff online. I wouldn't want to. You don't have to. You can paint it though. Painting's good. You just. I got a bunch of paint for free. You can go to the dump and get paint too. A lot of times they'll have it. Not always, but hey, you know, you can look on KSL. You don't have to buy acrylic paint. You can just buy the paint like for your wall, and that'll work. So yeah, you just gotta paint the ends, both ends. Leave the bark on. Do not take it off. If you take it off, that just gives it more room for the wood to dry. What happens, and I should have left the freaking bark showing, wood showing. What happens is when the wood dries, ooh, I have nowhere to put my paintbrush now. This is great. So what happens is this is wet, damp, green, whatever you want to call it. It's green wood. It's fresh. The bark is dry, but the center is wet, and it wants to be dry because there's nothing going to it now. It's dead. And so as it dries, it's going to slowly dry inwards, and it's going to hit a point where all of a sudden it's not so easy for the water in it to escape, the moisture, and so it's going to crack and split so that moisture can escape. And it's going to split pretty bad because this center is going to be really wet and this outside is going to be really dry. So it's like your skin, it's going to cause it to crack pretty bad. So to stop that, you paint the ends, you leave the bark on, bark will help you, trust me, and you paint the ends. It is not fun to go through and have to paint every single side. I had to paint this because this was cracking and it didn't, and it, well, helped a little bit, yeah, got a little bigger. But that's bass. That was forever ago. Here's a piece. This is the, poplar. It's very smooth. This was green when I cut it, so I had to make it blue because I had my blue paint. It's no fun trying to put a pattern, where's it at? Here it is, on a piece of wood that's all blue. It's like hard to see. Here's a bison. I'll show you how to guys carve this. I want to carve it first. I like to do that. I like to carve it first and then show you guys how to carve it. That's what I'm going to do. Maybe. I might just carve it. I have something that I'm going to do soon that I'm just going to carve. Anyway, I'm starting to blab again. But yeah, this piece of wood was very thick and very tall. Hint, hint, hint. And I had to cut it down quite a bit. So it wasn't fun. The wood was a little green still, but that's okay. It had a crack and I got rid of the crack. But it wasn't fun, again, trying to find my pattern. You can sand it, but you still have to wait for it to dry. And it dried for a while. The more bark you have too, the better it is, because this thing, you can just see all the cracks in that. This did come out to about here. I broke it off this morning. Oh, here it is. See? I broke that off this morning because it was all cracked and nasty and I couldn't use it. So I just went. So yeah. This is now going to be a scrap. Don't get ready to scrap. Scraps are actually pretty good. Generally. Unless they're small and pathetic. And look like cheese. Then they're not so good. Don't eat it though. I wouldn't eat it. But yeah. What you want to do is you're going to want to paint the ends of your wood. So that way it doesn't split. You don't want to use something too thin or something too thick, I've heard. I don't know. I haven't had an issue with my paints being thick. I've had an issue with them being thin. But yeah, so if you're going to do your own wood, like what I'm doing, I got a bunch of wood I'm excited about. Because the wood's free. It's just cutting it and not cutting your fingers. Remember that. Cut the wood, not your fingers. Wear gloves. And be safe. So yeah. it's easier this way too, because then, I mean, like, find a place to put this where it's not going to get everywhere. I can have this big old piece right here. I can carve like a wolf out of it or something. I might actually take that, trim it down, and make a bear. Ooh, maybe. Make a bear out of that one. I have a fun bear pattern I want to do again. That was fun. I did that at a pine from a 2x4. Yeah, no. I posted that video. No. That was a freaking pain in the butt. Ouch. I did cut my finger open the other day and it's still sore. So yeah, you want to paint the ends of the wood. Took me 10 minutes to say that. Almost 11. Whew! Great. I'm on a roll. So, paint the ends, won't split as bad. I mean, you're going to still get some splitting, but this is without being painted versus being painted. I know this looks like it's been painted. Yes, it was splitting and then I painted it. Because I didn't know you had to paint it to stop it from splitting. It was a fun fact to learn. After the fact that I cut all my cherry wood. Yeah. This is a very ugly piece. I don't remember what this is. I think this is cherry too. Just not an ugly piece of cherry like the other one. Yeah. That's cherry. Knife does not like to go through that. Even comparison, my flex cut knife, which, mind you, the birch slides right through it like nothing. The cherry doesn't like to go through it. You think this is bad, you should try applewood too. Applewood's just a bad joke. That's what I compare everything to. Mind you, I'm not comparing my wood to bass. I'm not comparing it to anything else. Whoa! That was my sheath. I'm trying to grab a piece of wood. This is a piece of bass. Cool. It's a very, very thin piece of bass. The knife just eats it up. This is why people like bass. Okay, so people like bass. Also, that's not how you cut wood. Don't do this. No, you're gonna damage your knife. That's how you cut. I should do a video on that. I'll do a video on that in a minute. I'll stop this one and do that. So have fun. Make sure you keep your fingers out of your way when you carve. Check around, see if you can get some free paint to paint your wood. Paint both ends. Okay? Paint both ends. Or if you have a block of wood, paint every side. If your wood, after you've done this, if you let it dry, it's going to take a long time. But after you let it dry, and it is dry, you won't have to do this. You can just leave it alone like that. And yeah, then you can cut it and get and see a really pretty grain and decide what you want to do with it. And orient it so it shows the most grains possible. So yeah, have fun.